This is my full review of the Season 1 of She-Hulk, along with character ranking. I'll go character by character in order of my favorite to least favorite, and then I'll make a separate video on a possible Season 2, which I have mixed feelings with. Also, I won't be counting Madysin as well. I liked her. She only showed up very briefly in one episode, so just know I liked her, but I thought it wasn't fair to include her on this list with characters like Daredevil and She-Hulk. Starting off with She-Hulk, well, the CGI was definitely messy at moments. I thought the character was very much the character in the comics, with her self-esteem issues and manipulating the fourth wall. And I'll be honest, the last two episodes of the series, I thought she had some great fight scenes. I really did enjoy some of her quips. Some of them, I will admit, were kind of cringy, but the character in the comics has always been very forward and has had some corny lines, so I was okay with it. The character was also very sexual on the show, like she was in the comics. A lot of people were slut-shaming her online, which is ironic because they were doing that on the show as well. Personally, I don't see why people are so upset. The character in the comics is practically the Joey Tribauni of Marvel. So I think She-Hulk should, be allowed to express her sexual needs. As the character in the comics has always been very forward, I think it's okay that the character on the show is also very forward. So I don't see anything wrong with it. It's not like she's cheating on a boyfriend. She's just someone who gets around a lot. And I really like She-Hulk on the show. I don't know if the show itself deserves a season 2, but I really hope Tatianna Maslany, I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that name, should at least get continue with the role. So I really do hope the character does get to appear more in the MCU. I also really like the Incredible Hulk reference. Next is Daredevil. When I heard they were going to give him his yellow suit from the comics, I was nervous, but it looks very good, like surprisingly good. Although I will admit, I think it looks better in the dark instead of when it's in day. Because when he showed up in the daytime with it on, I was like, ooh, that doesn't look that good. But when it's at night, I think it really works, surprisingly. I think the character is, in my opinion, probably the best character on the show other than She-Hulk, just by a little bit. The reason why I say that is because this is She-Hulk's show, and I don't want to disrespect her by having Daredevil above her. But if Daredevil was in more than just those 2 episodes that he appeared in, I really feel like he would be above her. Personally, I think Charlie Cox is a great actor, and I think also making the character quirky isn't a bad thing. The character in the comics has always been both serious and comedic, and I thought the character was a great mix of both. And I'd like that he and She-Hulk were afraid of not necessarily insulting one another, but disagreeing with one another. And I thought it really made that these two characters can not only coexist and work together, but they can also have differences. Anyways, I just really like Daredevil, and like I said, the only complaint I have about him on the show was that he only appeared in 2 episodes. Because if he appeared more, I feel like he really would be above She-Hulk. Wong. I couldn't decide between him and Daredevil, who I thought should be second, but since Daredevil is returning from a very, very long period of, not being on screen, I thought Wong should be third since he's appearing a lot lately. But I still think Wong was amazing on the show. I love this banner with She-Hulk and Johnny Blaze, and I think he made a great guest character. I love that he can stand on his own without Doctor Strange. And it makes sense. He's the Sorcerer Supreme. He should have his own responsibilities now. And I thought he really did. And I'd like that he actually took the role very well. Because when they revealed that he was now the Sorcerer Supreme in a one-line in No Way Home, I was a little upset because I thought I was kind of discrediting Doctor Strange and was kind of as a joke. But here I thought Wong really owned it. And I think he really deserves it now. I really do think Wong deserves that title, and I don't know if I want Doctor Strange to have it again. Because Doctor Strange, I think, is a very complex man, and sometimes he makes the wrong decision. I think Wong is the type of person who would actually make the right decision, even if he knows that there's a better way, but it's by the books. Mallory Book. Might be a surprise she's the first non-guest character other than She-Hulk on this list. And honestly, I was surprised too, but I thought she was great. I like she was a practical character. She made some bad choices, but I thought it was more realistic of her. And it was very realistic of that there's a lot of people like that in the real world. She doesn't think of herself as a bad person, but in order to get what she wants, she sometimes might make a couple very slight bad ideas and bad choices. I thought the character was rare in the comics, and yes, I'm well aware the character was race swapped, but I don't care, because her personality is just like the comics, and I thought the actress who plays her, who I'm really sorry I didn't remember the name of, was great. So, if She-Hulk ever gets a season 2, I would love to see Mallory Book be a bigger character. Because honestly, I think she was a very, very underrated character in the season, and that's probably my only complaint, because I think she should have done more, because I really like her from the comics, and she was just like the comics here. Emile Blonsky. I thought of all the Hulk characters, he had that best CGI, and I thought, while a lot of characters were being written silly, kind of made the characters get assassinated in a way, I thought it actually worked with Emile. And I thought his advice with She-Hulk was actually pretty good, and I really think the character going forward could be like how he is on the show. Because I really did like the character more here than I did in the Incredible Hulk movie. No disrespect to the character in the Incredible Hulk movie, of course, because I liked him there too. But I thought he was a little bit too similar to General Ross. Here, Emile Blonsky is a very different character. And unfortunately, I don't know if he'll ever return due to the fact that he wasn't confirmed for Thunderbolts, which I think would be a shame if he doesn't return at all. Pug and Nikki. I put these two together. As well, I liked them both. Neither of them really did much, but I thought what they did was great, and I thought they made great friends for Jen. Even if I will say there were points where Nikki I thought was just a little too involved with Jen's life, like just a bit. Even when Jen told her to stop, she didn't. But either way, I thought it really worked out, and Nikki was just thinking of her friend. It wasn't a situation where she was being selfish. Even if I had disagreed with the idea of what she was doing, like when she took Jen's phone, I understand where she was coming from. It was from a good place, but I do feel like she kind of overstepped. Leapfrog, Mr. Immortal, and the superhero group therapy, I put all these guys together because I thought, while they were okay, there was so much to talk about. But what we got of, I did enjoy these characters, but if they don't come back, I'd be okay with that too. Personally, out of all of them, if I had to choose, I'd say Leapfrog is the one I want to return. I really like his suit. I know that personality-wise, he's kind of a jerk, but honestly, I really like his costume. I'm not going to lie. I know it's stupid. I know it's really bright and colorful, but I like it. I also thought Mr. Immortal was okay. I didn't dislike him. I didn't like him. The superhero group therapy, I thought none of them really got time enough to really be developed, but as a whole, I thought they gave Jen some great advice, and I did enjoy it. Hulk. I personally really feel bad for Hulk fans, but the character here really did hit an all-time low, and a lot of people online pointed it out. When he got hit by a car by Jen, it was just embarrassing. I thought he was overly judgmental of his cousin, and overall, the character, in my opinion, was not the best. Although, I will say this, I think Mark Ruffalo is a great actor, and that's why he is higher up than a lot of other characters, because Mark Ruffalo, in my opinion, did a great job and did what he could. Just the writing for the character, I think, needed to change, because I'm really tired of Professor Hulk. I liked it when it first started, like an Endgame, but it's been 3 years now, and I think we just need to move on. Titania. I feel bad because I really liked Jamila Jamil in The Good Place. I thought she was great there, but here she's nails on a chalkboard. But I don't think it's her fault. It's just turning the character into a guru didn't work, and personally, I think the character was just insufferable. I don't think it could have been played by another actress either. I really don't think anyone could have salvaged this role. And Jamila Jamil, to her credit, did attempt to really help the character with social media, with the jokes she made, and I really feel like she did make the character more likable with those jokes on the internet. But on the show itself, I personally just can't get on board with this change, because I love Titania from the comics. And I think sorry I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I don't know how to pronounce it. Jamila Jamil, I think is how you pronounce it, right? I think she could have been a great Titania, but the writing for it just fell flat. Todd. I really dislike Todd. He was annoying and creepy, but not in a cool villain way, but just boring and basic. I really thought the character was not only unnecessary, but really just borderline creepy and just didn't really work. I understand what they're going for here, and I respect what they're going for, but they just didn't give Todd enough time to develop as a character, and because of that, the character just turned out to be a bit of a waste. Well, not necessarily, because he's not a character from the comics, so I guess it's not really that much of a waste. But either way, the character, in my opinion, was just unneeded for this entire show. The Wrecking Crew. As a fan of the Wrecking Crew from the comics, I was really upset with what they turned them in here. Because, honestly, I really like the Wrecking Crew from the comics. But here, the characters were just insufferable and almost unrecognizable. They didn't look like themselves from the comics. They didn't act like themselves from the comics. They didn't even really have the same weapons from the comics. I mean, they kind of did, but they didn't really. Overall, I was really disappointed. And also, my personal favorite on the team is Thunderball, who I was really upset by because they also whitewashed him and gave him nothing to do. All he did was stand there. Overall, I think the Wrecking Crew was extremely wasted on the show. And overall, I think the Wrecking Crew was not needed on the show. I think they should have just made their own random gang of villains rather than take the Wrecking Crew and twist them into what they wanted for the show. Because honestly, I think this version of the crew is just god-awful. But there's one more thing I dislike about the show more than the Wrecking Crew, and that is Scar. He only appears very briefly, but from it, I'm already done with it. His CGI looked horrible. Not bad, but horrible. Honestly, I don't even like Scar from the comics, and I'm disappointed. I imagine how Scar fans are going to feel this version of Scar. Just why? He looks so bad to the point where it actually hurts to look at him, which you don't want. I'm not even being dramatic. He literally looks hard to look at. And I'm really sorry for being really negative towards the end of this review, because I did like the show. It's just, the stuff like the Wrecking Crew and Scar just kind of made me mad, and so same thing with Titania. But the other stuff like Daredevil and She-Hulk made me really happy to see them. Same thing with Wong and Pug and Nikki and Emile Blonsky and Mallory. Those characters were great, but the other characters like Titania, the Wrecking Crew, Scar, Hulk even, I thought weren't so great. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.